Hello and welcome to Workin' Mama. Today we are going to have the second in our series of videos about must-have baby gear, with the focus being on feeding. So what do you need for food for your little one? If you're trying to build out your own baby registry, this might be something that could be useful to you as well. I'm just going to share with you what worked for us and some things that didn't necessarily work for us too. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is bibs. Bibs are so important. You might receive a lot of them as gifts. We did. The thing about the cloth bibs is they're great for when baby is in that drooling stage. So if he's teething and you don't want to be constantly changing his onesie because it's soaked with drool, that's what those cloth bibs are for. They are not effective for when you are feeding. I highly recommend these silicone type bibs, and I have a couple here to show you. This one is by TUNNO, so you can see it says Taco Tuesday. This was a gift to us, and these are so cute. TUNNO, they're just always having these like cheeky phrases. We have one that says Hungry Hungry Hippo. There's one I've seen that says Brunch Babe. They're just so cute. Super easy to clean if you need to hand wash it. Or you could throw it in the dishwasher, that's what we usually do. Or you could throw it in your washing machine with laundry as well. This one I wanted to show you as an example of what is not going to be ideal. It's very difficult for this pocket to stay open, and therefore it's not particularly effective. So I don't necessarily recommend these for feeding unless it's kind of all you have. So the next one I want to show is probably more popular. It's by OXO, and I love the fact that this rolls up so nice and compact. This one, you could certainly roll it up to store it as well, but it's just not going to be as compact. This is made to do so because it's got this little button in this little hole. So I love these by OXO. They come in different colors. There is sort of a fabric top and then the silicone bottom. So it gets the job done. Very good. Like I said, super easy to store and travel with. And this one has a Velcro open and close versus the TUNNO one, which is like the silicone they've made into little buttons. So there are other brands that make these similar types of bibs. We have another one by BUMKINS. We have a Hello Kitty one. They make all kinds of different characters. So if you have particular IP that you're interested in, I do recommend those. They're just as great as these. The other thing I want to talk to you about in this video is a sleeved bib by BUMKINS. So I highly recommend these for messier meals. You can see here that he is eating pancakes. We also put these on him when he is eating pasta with red sauce. Anything that's going to be a mess, it is going to be very helpful. And as you can see, we do both the sleeved bib by BUMKINS and have a silicone bib on top of that to catch the pieces that he is inevitably going to either spit out or miss, when he's trying to eat, etc. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is little containers to put your snacks in. I have here a couple of ITZY snack pouches. There's a smaller one, and here is a normal sized one. They just zip. They have kind of a water resistant, I think, lining. So if you have something in here like fresh fruit or something like that you've cut up, that's really great. I will say it doesn't seal well. So if you're putting in like puffs or something like that, they could go stale. And I have had that happen. So just be mindful of that, but they are very handy to have. So there's those. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is this little snack tower. This is by Replay. So everything is recycled plastic, which is really cool. These come as individual cups. They come with a lid, but they all are interlocking. And so you can tower as many of these as you'd like to. And you can buy this separately as well, the little topper that has the handle, which is nice. Makes it easy to grab out of a bag, or you could put it in like your cup holder in your car or whatever. So in here we are putting some of his puffs when we're taking them with us. You are definitely going to need baby spoons, and lots of them. What we like to do is give Weston a spoon to hold and sort of play with. Sometimes we'll preload it onto the spoon and put it down in front of him, hoping that he'll grab it and put it to his mouth, which he does sometimes, which is great. But basically, we've tried a bunch of different brands of spoons. These are just some cute little Sesame Street fork and spoon. That works. We have this one here that came in a multi-pack from Munchkin. This is like a white hot. So the spoon turns white if the food is too hot for baby. So that's nice for that as well. The thing I like about this too is that it's kind of rubbery, which feels good on baby's teeth. So here is another type of spoon. This one is also by Munchkin. Very common, very inexpensive. Just a plastic, simple spoon. Come in multi-packs. Highly recommend them. They work fine. And then the other kind we like to use are from EZPZ. And so this one we bought as a set with our EZPZ mini mat. And what I love about this is the big chunky handle for baby to hold on to if they don't have the best pincer grip yet. They're still developing those motor skills. So he loves holding this. This is definitely the best candidate for him to attempt to feed himself when we kind of preload that spoon and put it in front of him, and then he will oftentimes grab it and take it right to his mouth, which is fantastic. So love these. And so while we're talking about it, might as well talk about those EZPZ mini mats. These suction to the table somehow. I don't know how. It's really cool. They stay on very well. Just be mindful. We actually even have like a wooden table that has crevices in it, and they do still stay on that well too. I felt that maybe you needed to have it on a tray that's on a high chair or something like that, but not necessarily. It still works. So you place it down. It's got dividers. I really like these. They also make one that is just one bowl. We have that too. Just kind of depends on what's clean, honestly, in our house for which one we're going to use, because we just intermingle his food. He's not picky about that yet, so that's nice. It also comes with this little travel bag, which could be good too for you. There's also this EZPZ giant mat. I don't know if that's what it's called. I will link it in the description, and I will indicate for you here what it is as well. But this is just a larger version basically, and it's really more of a full placemat. I like it. What I will say is it's probably going to be too big to put this on a high chair tray if you have one, but it's really great to put on the table because it just has a larger surface area to do that same suctioning thing. It's a bigger bowl too. It holds a lot more. So that's another option for you. The next thing I want to talk about is preparing food for baby. You're going to probably want to have some little cutting boards like these. We bought like a multi-pack. What we often do is, right now our son has a pretty good pincer grip, so we are cutting things into small pieces as opposed to when we started, he kind of had long, thin strips to use. Whatever we're eating, we're cutting things up for him. Just slice it up on here and then easily bring it over to his tray, and then we will just kind of drop it on there for him. So it makes it easy to have little cutting boards for that. Another thing for food preparation is this little smash and masher by NUBY. They also make one that has like a steaming component too. We don't have that, although I think that it would be nice to have, because there are some times where maybe the veggies that we're making we might think are a little too spicy for him or something like that, so we might want to make him his own veggies instead. So it would be nice to prepare his a little bit separately if that's what you would like to do as well. But this has a nice little masher. It's just plastic, very solid, very easy to use. I think that what we use this the most for are bananas, because bananas are just really difficult for him to pick up because they're so slimy. So what we'll end up doing is taking a banana and putting it in here, mash it up a little bit, and then we will spoon feed it to him usually, and give him a preloaded spoon to feed himself as well. So I like that product too. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is cups. So our boy has actually, his first cup was this one, which is EZPZ again. So same brand as the mini mat. We love these cups. We have a couple of them. They're, again, silicone. They're weighted very nicely at the bottom, so they're pretty good at staying upright. and it's just the perfect shape for a little hand, so for him to hold. He likes to hold it himself. He likes just playing with this cup. He loves it. We have opted to not go the sippy cup route with him for various reasons. Whatever you do is up to you, no judgment from me, but this cup, he loves to use it. He will just come right up to it and let us feed him a drink, and then he'll hold it himself too. He is not at the point where he is able to feed himself his own drink, but he does like this a lot. So we actually tried to go sippy cup route with this one, and this is by Munchkin, and it's supposed to be kind of like a spill-proof sippy cup. He couldn't figure out how to make it work. I couldn't figure out how to make it work, and so I just ended up not using it. And so what we're really doing right now is we will just use the cup portion and give it to him as a cup. And so that works for us. Everybody has their own thing. Just one more cup to show you is this little metal cup. It's nice because it has a handle, so it's easier for him to hold on to. So he really likes this one too. This actually came with our LOVEVERY play kit. We have subscribed to the LOVEVERY play kits since Weston was, I believe, 3 months old, and we love them. We love everything that comes with them. So I do recommend those. We'll do a separate video on toys later, which we'll talk about LOVEVERY for sure. But this is a cup that comes with that, and I like that too. So the next thing I want to talk about, since we're talking about cups, is straws. We got these, they're GOSILI brand, so they're just silicone straws. Weston really likes these for playing with, and we're trying to teach him how to use it as well. He does like chewing on it for sure. That feeling of silicone, I think babies just can't get enough of it. Feels so good to them. So what we've been doing is trying to train him and kind of building up gradually in size of straw, because the longer the straw, the more they have to work to get the liquid out the other end. Baby food jars. So as you may have gathered from some of the things I've already shared, we did sort of a baby led weaning approach. I would say it's more of a combined approach where we did some baby led weaning and some purees. We didn't really do purees at home. The closest we came to doing purees was really that mashing, like of bananas or something like that, and spoon feeding him some of those things. Or the other thing that we would do is buy like a large jar of applesauce and then dish it out into these jars, and then have one ready to go, either to take it with us or to just have ready in the morning and have no preparation time needed at all. So I love having these on hand. Another thing we will do with these is if we have leftovers from dinner, oftentimes we'll kind of set aside a perfect little portion size for Weston in one of these jars and just store it in the fridge, and then heat it up the next day for him to have for lunch. So we like doing that too. I like having these jars in the house. They're glass, so it's nice to not have plastic, good to heat up in as well. And yeah, you can use your own Tupperware, but I highly recommend these two. Again, we'll include it in the description below. Oh, I have another example of spoons and forks. I'm sorry that I didn't show this earlier. So these are by BUMKINS. They're called CHEWTENSILS, and so they are intended to be for babies who are on that baby led weaning journey. So you can fork things, you can scoop things with the spoon. These ones are a cute little Minnie Mouse. They have all kinds of different characters. So again, BUMKINS is great if you have a specific IP that you love, because they are often doing partnerships with all different companies. Disney, Hello Kitty, I think DC Comics, all kinds of stuff. And so it has this little barrier here to stop the baby from sticking it too far down their throat, so they're not going to be kind of choking or gagging themselves that way. But they're really cute, really fun. I think, again, he kind of just likes chewing on them, but they work, you know, spoons are spoons, and you are going to need a lot of them because they get thrown on the floor. I mean, we probably go through like 3 spoons at every meal, I will say. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, I actually don't remember the name of this. I think it's MUNCHKIN brand. I will indicate what it is for you here, but it's like a little mesh net, and I don't know, it's kind of like a baby bottle pop from back in the day. But basically you can put like fruit in here or something else, but fruit is what we have used it for. Load it up that way if it's something that's hard for them to hold on to, but you want them to really still kind of get the taste or the essence of that thing. You put it in there, it locks into place very nicely. Baby can hold on to it and then munch on it. And I will say Weston really liked this. We put bananas in it, again, because bananas are very slimy and difficult for baby to hold. We also put raspberries in it because they were a little seedy, so we weren't sure how he would take to those. So we did both of those things. I will actually tell you that I don't recommend these. I think that if you're going to try some of those little messier items, that you just find another way, another vessel to feed them to your baby. So what we've done a lot of the time is spreading them on toast or a pancake or something like that for him to eat, or bananas we're smashing and feeding to him. You can do that with raspberries too. So the reason that I actually don't recommend these is because they are very difficult to clean. And in fact, this one is still stained. We've only used them, I think, like 2 or 3 times, and I can't get behind it. It's a good idea. I like the idea of him being able to hold it himself and feed himself, and he really enjoyed using it. It's just so difficult to clean. And if you have tips, if you have these or you know someone who does and you know the best way or easiest way to get them clean, I mean, there's just no way other than super scrubbing it. Like we tried dishwasher, you know, hand washing them, of course. I just can't figure it out, and so that's gonna be why I don't recommend these. So another thing I wanted to mention is just around snacks. We're not necessarily gonna talk about all the foods that my baby eats, because you probably, I think this video is long enough. You don't necessarily need to hear about that. But I always love having pouches available for us to take with us. Like I mentioned, we kind of did a blended approach, and so we would mostly feed him whatever we're having for dinner, or you know, lunch, breakfast, whatever, and then he will just have some of that as well. We might modify it in some way, like cut it up a little smaller for him on the cutting board, and put it in his bowl or whatever that is. We might mash it up and feed it to him. Sometimes what we're eating is just not practical for him to have. Like we're steering clear of like salt and things like that for him. Certainly we're not giving him any sugar or things that have added sugar in them. So sometimes what we're eating we're not giving him, and so having pouches or like an applesauce, you know, things like that in a jar that you can feed him on the go, or just having at home is good too. So these are just a couple of different pouches. What's cool about these Go-Go Squeezes is it almost comes with its own little spoon because of the lid. It's like this cute little propeller, and so when I'm maybe sitting next to him in the car and we're on a long drive and I know he's hungry, I will feed him this. He's actually gotten really good at sucking from the pouch, which is kind of funny, but he'll inevitably still spill some around his mouth, miss his mouth, or turn away while he's eating it or whatever, and then you can actually just use this as a little makeshift spoon to kind of, you know, pick it up and then put it back in his mouth. So I really like having pouches and recommend that you do as well. Another thing I like having just for kind of on the go travel food is these little Happy Baby, they're called teethers. It's like a big cracker, but it's pretty soft and very easy for baby to break apart and chew, and it almost dissolves in their mouth, but not too quickly. So Weston really likes having these too. Highly recommend them. You are definitely going to need hand and face wipes. So this is Johnson's. We actually normally get the Target brand. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. They do the same thing. They're safe for babies, you know, face, mouth area, and hands. And so we're always using these. We usually have them in a wipe pouch, wipes holder with us. The other thing, I just want to give a quick shout out to JUJUBE items, because I call them out in every single video that I do because I love them. Machine washable, you can get these. This is called a fuel cell, and this is called a Be Cool. So this is kind of a newer style, but they're both insulated lunch boxes. I will say that the Be Cool is a little more insulated and will keep cool longer, but This one is a little bit bigger capacity, the fuel cell. So I think that you can fit more in here, and it's a little more malleable, whereas this is a little more sturdy, rigid, and you're not necessarily going to be able to kind of pack it full of things. But we love using these to carry snacks, put an ice pack in there and bring bottles, things like that. Definitely can do that. Again, both of these are machine washable, and I highly recommend them. The Be Cool has a removable long strap, so you can wear it crossbody or over your shoulder. This fuel cell is just a single strap here. And then there's a pocket on the inside of the fuel cell here to put your utensils if you'd like, or whatever else makes sense for you to keep in there. And then the Be Cool has a pocket just on the front here for you to put utensils or whatever the case. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear your tips on what you use for feeding for your little ones as well. So all of this was really geared around in this first year of life that we're about 10 months into right now, everything that we have been using since he started eating at 6 months. And I would love to hear your tips too, and it'll be interesting to see how we kind of continue to use all of these things or evolve our preferences over time. And please go ahead and give the video a like, and I would love to have you subscribe, comment on any additional content that you think would be helpful for first-time moms or other working mom topics. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.